What's good, world? It's your boy Preezy. I'm a freelance journalist, writer, and creative based out of Brooklyn, New York. Today, I want to talk about 5 ways to perfect your opening pitch. My first tip to perfecting your opening pitch is to have a strong headline. You have to have a strong heading because these editors, these publishers, they get dozens, hundreds, if not thousands of pitches a day that they got to sift through. So you want to have a headline, a heading to your email that grabs their attention. You have to be clear about what you're presenting to the editor, whoever's going to be reading this email. You can't just say, hey, look here, and get them to wait to click into the email to find out what's going on, because if it doesn't look exciting off the rip, they're most likely not going to get back to you. So you want to have a strong heading that stands out. Say if you're doing an interview, you want to say, I'm doing an interview with X person about XYZ, and so on and so forth. You want to be as detailed as you can, and that's going to be a common trait, a common thing that I talk about in these videos is you want to be detailed. You want to give people the accurate description, depiction of what they can expect from what you're presenting to them. So that's definitely one major tip to perfecting your pitch. You want to have strong headings, strong headlines, so it'll grab the editor's attention and it'll stand out from all of the other emails that they're getting. So that's definitely one tip. Have a strong heading. Tip number 2 to perfecting your opening pitch is to have your email grammatically correct. You want to have proper grammar. You can't have a lot of misspelled words, and because how is somebody going to hire you to write if you can't even edit your own email, if you can't use proper punctuation? Now, if you're a writer, sometimes we have hiccups and stuff, but you have to be on point when you're reaching out to these publications, because everything counts. You don't know them, they don't know you from Adam, so you have to have a strong first impression. So if you got misspelled words and this and that, and just in your opening pitch, and they're going to expect the same from your work when you present it. And like I said in the previous video, one of the major keys is having clean copy to get published. So if you don't have clean copy in your emails, that's going to turn off an editor. Even if your story's great, that's like me starting off as a writer years back. I wasn't as good with my grammar, and people was like, yeah, like you know how to tell a story and you know how to present it, but your grammar is not on point, so that's something that I had to work on, and I'm still working on day by day, because it's not easy to get right, but it's something that you have to work on and focus on, definitely in your opening pitch. So you want to make sure your I's is dotted, your T's is crossed, and all that when it comes to grammar. So have a grammatically correct email. Make sure you got your punctuations, everything spelled right, and proofread it time and time again until you're sure you got everything correct, and then send it into the editor. You just don't want to be loosey-goosey and just send everything, anything, and it's not really quality. So make sure you got your grammar correct. That's tip number 2 to perfecting your opening pitch. Tip number 3 to perfecting your opening pitch is to know who you're addressing. You got to make your opening pitch a little personable, a little warm. Like if the editor's name is Kate or Kevin, say, hey Kevin, hope all is well. Be sure to acknowledge who you're writing to. You don't just want to go straight into your pitch. You want to know who you're emailing, get the editor's name, get a little bit about them and about the publication, and know what they're about so that you can address them in a proper manner. Like some people are more straight-laced. Like what I want to say is you want to always be professional, but it's ways to make your email a little warmer and make it more personable so they know that you've done your research on them, on what they expect and what they look for. So you definitely want to know who you're addressing and address them in a professional and a proper manner. You can't just address them like your friend. When I say be warm, this isn't your buddy, but you want to let them know that you have warmth in your personality, that you took the time out to know who they are and to research who you're even addressing for this opportunity. So that's definitely tip number 3. Know who you're emailing, know who you're reaching out to, and make it a little more personable, and that'll make them more likely to respond to you and give you the time of day. Tip number 4 to perfecting your opening pitch is to include links to your previous work. You want to have references to what you previously done so that an editor can check that out and get a feel for your style, a feel for what they can expect, because like I said before, they don't know you from a can of paint, so you have to make sure that they know that you're qualified, and put out your qualifications out there. It's not about name dropping, it's just about, look, my previous experience is this, that, and the third. And like I said previously, you want to know who you're emailing. So if you write about a variety of topics like myself, I write about everything from sports to music, lifestyle, everything in between. I'm not going to include sports clips to a website that's about lifestyle. I'm not going to, do an op-ed to a site that's about listicles and so on and so forth. So you have to know, like I said before, who you're pitching to, who you're addressing, but you want to always include references to your previous work, to your strongest work. And I'm not saying just load up your entire catalog of your past work, but you want to include 2 to 3 strong links to your strongest work, so you can put out the best impression of yourself, so they can see what they're working with, and that'll make them more inclined to work with you. That's like for me, for instance, like I work with various publications, but I make sure to say, look, I specialize in hip hop, sports, this, that, and the third, but I also do this, that, and the third, and I include my links, which is proof to what I've done, and they can look over that and they see the quality of work that I've done, and that makes them more inclined to take me on and just sending them a cold pitch. You can have a great pitch, but how do they know that you know how to execute it? But when you provide proof that you've executed these types of pitches, for however long you've been doing it, that'll make them more open, more comfortable to working with you, because we all want to work with people that's experienced in their craft. It's good to give people a shot, but the more references you can link to that are strong, like I said, keep it minimal, because they don't have time to go through 5 to 10, but just pick, I would say, 2 to 3 strong, your strongest work that aligns with that particular website, if you can. If you're delving into something new, then you may have to provide the first copy or something, or a snippet of a copy, so they can find out what that's about or what the complete story is going to look like. But you always want to include links. So that's tip number 4 to perfecting your opening pitch. Tip number 5 to perfecting your opening pitch is to have something worth writing about. But let me scratch that, because anything that you feel like is worth writing about is worth writing about. But when you're trying to sell something to an outlet, when you're trying to pitch something, the outlet wants to receive something that their viewership, their readership will be interested in, that'll pique their interest. So your first job is to pique the editor's interest. You want to have a subject that you've done your research about that is a missing link, as I mentioned in that previous video. You want to have something that's not there, or that builds upon something that's already there. So you definitely want to grab the editor's attention with a strong subject, with something that'll get them excited, that they'll want to let their readership get into and see. So you definitely want to have subjects and topics that'll pique people's interest, that'll have them interested to look into it further, because you want to get people to click, you want to get people to open the book, So even before you can get to the point where the readers click on your article, you want to get the editor to click on your email. And like I said, with the subject, to have a eye-popping subject or headline, you have to have a dope topic, you have to have a dope subject. So you definitely want to be focusing on having interesting content, interesting topics that you're touching on, something that's not there. You want to dig beneath the surface. So that's tip number 5 to perfecting your opening pitch. Have something that's interesting, intriguing, and that'll grab not only the reader's attention, but the editor's attention. Those are my 5 tips to perfecting your opening pitch. If you have any tips on how to perfect the pitch, if you're an experienced writer, or even if you're just starting off, if you have any ideas you want to share, feel free to hop in the comments and share them, and I'll be sure to get back to you. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share the video, and click the notification bell so you can receive more inspirational, entertaining, and informative content. But it's your boy Preezy. Peace.